Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Points of Articulation. My name's Dave and if you're new to the channel, welcome everybody. Today I'm taking a look at the Hot Wheels Star Wars AT-ST Raider released in 2019. This interpretation of the AT-ST will be first seen in the Star Wars TV show, The Mandalorian. Now this ship is indeed a repaint of the original AT-ST, but to be honest, I personally love the paint on this walker. Now, before I get to the size of this particular vehicle, I did ask a question last week, which was, what is the Snowspeeder's maximum speed? Now, I had to do some work on this myself, but the answer is 1000 kph, which is super fast. Now, for us in America, I did convert it to miles per hour. Hopefully my math is correct, but it's about, give or take, 621 miles per hour, which is insane. Now, if you ever saw The Empire Strikes Back, you saw the Snowspeeders move quickly, but I don't think they were moving at 621 miles per hour. You know, that's pretty quick. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about that? But anywho, back to this model. The AT-ST Raider is roughly 2 3/4 inches tall, which is very nice. So everybody at home should know how my videos go by now. We're going to take a look at the mold, the paint, put it on a stand, compare it to some other pieces, and then we'll be done. So let's get moving. So let's start this video looking at the mold. Like in all my videos, I will go over all the major sections of the item, and we'll get a nice close-up look to see all those fine details. So let's go over the main points. Here we have our cockpit, or command section if you will. On the top we have an entering hatch, looking pretty good. For the front, we have our viewports, looking very nice for the weapons. On this side we have a blaster cannon. In the front, a twin blaster cannon, looking very nice. And on this side we have our concussion grenade launcher. All in all, some pretty cool components here. Now the rest of the command section is very nicely detailed. You can see some beautiful stuff here, especially in the back. Nicely done. There's the other side. Awesome stuff. Next we have our neck, or gyro system. Looking very cool. Beneath that we have our engine section, or drive section. You can see it's a little thick, but that's because they had to hide all the components to hold the legs and the main rivets together, so that way we could have some moving parts. So I'll give it a pass on that. But you can see the nice molding here on the drive section. Very nice stuff. On the bottom, we have copyright crap, some nice molding, and 2 rivets holding it together. The rivet in the front is larger because it is part of the articulation on here, and I'll get to that in a few. But for the rest of the components of the ship, or vehicle, we do have some nice legs here, very detailed. It might be my favorite part of the particular mold. Very nice stuff, and you can see the interiors are molded as well. Looking very nice. Cool stuff. Now for the feet, we have our 2 pads, and in the front are fence cut-in blades. Really nice stuff, and on the bottom we do have little peg holes, but I don't know that they click into anything as of right now. So real quick, I'll go over the articulation on here. We have a rotating blaster cannon, which can spin all the way around, which is a very nice touch. Next, we have the twin blaster cannon, which, let me hold it. It can go forward and down a little bit. Now, I don't want to break it, but that's how far down it can go, and then it can go back in the up position. Finally, the head of the chicken walker can actually go left and right. It is hindered by the armor on the head section and the legs, but it does have a nice range of movement in my opinion. So that's pretty nice. So that does it for all the major sections of this mold and the articulation. So now let's get a closer look. So having a closer look at the AT-ST Raider, I did already review this particular mold once before, but I do think that the walker does have a lot to give, so let's take a quick look. On the top here, we can see our entry hatch and beautiful molding around here, and it has everything I always praise these models for. Modules, little recesses, and lots of little details. And if I turn the walker like this, you can see nothing is flat on here. Beautiful job. Turning the walker around, we can see some nice molding on the top ridge here. And then back here, look at all this. Little hoses or pipes. Fantastic stuff, little modules. And all this is sunken in. As you can see, the armor plating are going around it. It is acting like a wall, and I like that. Very cool. Turning to the side, we have some armor plating, raised sections, a couple recesses. Beautiful stuff. I like this very much. Right here we have our concussion grenade launcher, looking very nice. As you can see, it does have some nice detailing on there. So right on. For the other side, it's very similar. We have our armor plating, raised sections going all the way around. Little modules. The only part that's different is the blaster cannon right here. As you can see, we do have some armor right here. And then we have our barrels here. And as I mentioned, it is able to move. So you can see all the nice little details as I spin it. So that's pretty neat. For the back section, it's nothing really there. It's just the armor and then the mechanism to have it turn. But it's pretty cool. It can turn. A lot of models don't have any moving parts, so right on with that. Now for the front, we have our armor for the faceplate. You can see it right there. We have our viewports, which if you look closely, you can see they are molded in, which is nice. And then down here, we have our twin blaster cannons, which you can see are nicely done. You can see the two barrels there. Pretty cool. I think that came out good. Now, underneath the head, there's nothing there. Nothing's changed. We have slight molding in the aft section, but nothing to write home about. Just a couple pipes and stuff. Now, for the drive section, check out all this stuff. Nice modules here. Beautifully detailed. Coming to the front, you can see some nice stuff coming right here. Awesome. Now, on the sides, there is molding here. A lot of people miss that, but it does have some stuff right here in the front and in the aft section right here. And that goes for the same on this side. Pretty nice. Now, almost forgot the back. Now, for the back section, it's a little thicker than I would like it to be, but like I mentioned before, I do understand why they did it. What I do like is the nice molding on here. We have that cool design in the center, several recesses, and two modules. Looking fantastic. And one thing I forgot to mention is, even though it's technically part of the leg, they did put some detail in right here. So that's nice, and that's also on this side as well. So looking sharp. So for the underneath of the walker, we do have our copyright crap, two rivets holding it together, and then some beautiful looking details here. Very fine stuff, and I think it looks great. Especially these two pipe sections. Awesome stuff. Now for the legs, we have our armor plating right in the front. And then look at all the fine details here. Little raised sections, little pistons, everything, and it looks amazing. Now yes, there should be negative space like right here. But for a little kid's model, this isn't too bad. And I can see why a lot of adult collectors are going after these now. They are nice little ships, I will give it that. You can see all the joint sections for the front. Really not much to talk about, just this piece here. For the back, we do have some molding back here. You can see on the top, it's basically flat. There we have some nice molding. And it comes all the way down. Beautiful stuff. And for the interior, again, very nice. For the other leg, it's basically similar, just different paint, and you can see all the little fine details here. Beautiful stuff. For the interior, you can see all that great detail. Just a fantastic job. Let me hold it this way maybe. Yeah, there we go. You see all the little recesses from the molding process, but it's nicely detailed. Now for the foot pads, you can see they are nicely done. Bunch of raised sections. We have our fence cutting blade in the front. And that's the same for this side as well. You can see all those details. And for the bottom, we do have peg ports basically. What these are for, I don't know, because we didn't get anything yet where these could click in. But I have to admit, I am interested to see what Hot Wheels has in store for ships like these. And that's everything for the mold. Hopefully I covered everything. It is a fantastic piece. So now let's take a look at the paint. And now looking at that paint on the ATST Raider, this baby features 6 different colors. And I think they work well together. First color up is a nice dark tan for the main color of the vehicle. You can see it on the command section, the engine, and the legs. Looking good. I like that dark color. Really makes it stand out against its Imperial counterpart. So that's pretty dope. Moving on, what I like to say is the best part of this is the white. This war paint. As you can see, it's very jagged, and it just adds a lot of attitude to the model. And besides it being on the command section and the weapons, you can see it on the legs, which is nicely done. I think that came out great. Pretty awesome. Now, one little thing I want to note is right here on this plate, we do have tallies. And that looks awesome. Good attention to detail. Moving on, we do also have an orangey rust color on this leg. Looking very nice. It's also on the pad as well. And a fence cutting blade. Very cool. Moving on, we do have red right here for the viewports. Dark gray for the twin blaster cannon. Then we also have black right here for the gyro mechanism, which is actually just a joint, and also for the underbody right here. And that basically does it. Beautiful stuff. So that does it for the mold and the paint. So now let's put this baby back on the stand and compare it to some other pieces. And just like other Hot Wheels ships, it comes with a cool translucent stand. This one just says Star Wars. Place it on the table like so. Put your walker on it, and just like that, you're good to go. And now for a quick size comparison with the Hot Wheels Star Wars ATST Raider seen in the center. On the right-hand side, we have the Republic ATTE, a very nice looking model there. And then finally, on the left-hand side, we have the Imperial ATST. And for an added bonus size comparison, here we have all the new releases from the Triple Force Friday together. Firstly, on the right-hand side, we have the Resistance A-Wing. Looking pretty good. And then finally on the left hand side we have the First Order Tread Speeder. Now remember, if you're interested in seeing reviews of any of the ships you've seen today, check the links in the description below. And that does it today for my review of the Hot Wheels Star Wars ATST Raider released in 2019. Now I love the ATST. I did like the original Hot Wheels one. I did have my little gripes with it. However, this one is the same exact mold. Beautiful legs, beautiful command section, the weapons, and all the moving parts. Very nicely done. The only issue I can find with this is that the drive section is a little thicker than I would like it to be. But I understand why they did it, so that way everything can hold together and move. So, it is what it is. For the paint, it's awesome. 10 out of 10. I love the dark gray and that white war paint on it. Even the red viewports. It looks cool to me. It's just my opinion. I love this thing. Don't forget, this vehicle also comes with a stand, so that way it blends in with the rest of your collection. Now, before I conclude, here's this week's question. Above which planet does Cloud City hover? Let me know in the comments below and we'll talk about it next week. So that's everything I have to say about this awesome looking ship today. I hope you enjoyed my review. If you did, hit that like button. And if you'd like to see new reviews every Thursday, subscribe. Again, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And I hope to see you next time. Bye, everybody.